On the line right now is Tanya J. Powers. Tanya, good morning. Interesting story out there across 10 states, including the District of Columbia. It looks like hotels are being hit by hackers. Is that the story this morning?
Yeah, 10 states, 20 different locations. Hyatt, Sheraton, Marriott, Westin, different ones, 10 states and D.C. have been targeted by hackers, and not just for a little while. This has been going on for months.
And
apparently.
what are they trying to get? Are they trying to get credit card information? Or
Names, credit card information, account numbers, expiration dates, verification codes, basically all the stuff you would need to be able to use yours.
Wow.
Malware that was put in place is what may have collected all that.
So they send out the virus. It spreads. This one spreads an email, and maybe they're part of a network of hotels. It's crazy. And then they get these credit cards, and then they scam people out of money.
Yeah, anybody who used a card at one of these hotels, and again, in the time frame, now they're talking about, it could have been collected from early December through late June. So basically there for about a 6 or 7 month period. If you went and if you used a card at one of those hotels, you should, of course, look at your statements, make sure you don't have any unusual activity over the last several months and in the next several, because it's not necessarily, that they've got it all contained and they get the genie back in the bottle. It's you need to keep looking at this kind of stuff.
And one thing that I think when you think of these, that someone's going to come in, they're going to go to my card, and they're going to charge $1,000. Let's just use that number. But it really doesn't have to be that, right? What we're hearing is that when they get these large amounts of numbers, maybe they're charging, there's a $1.25 charge on your card, and you don't know what it is. Well, maybe I signed up for this. Most people just kind of let it fly. But if you do that to thousands and thousands of people, you're talking about a lot of money being scammed there.
Sure, yeah, and sometimes it will say this amount until the final amount is verified by the vendor or whatever.
Right.
Always check those, because the final amount and what you actually were supposed to have paid may be two different things.
I would say that this Apple Pay, which seems to be growing but growing slowly. I know I use it. Some stores, they do really well with it. Others, it's a bit of a challenge. But they never get your card information. Never, ever do they get any details of your card. And that seems to be the way we need to go. I'm hearing they've already hacked into the chips. That new chip plan doesn't seem to work.
Well, and the new chip plan hasn't even been adopted by everybody yet.
Correct.
Even though there are already stiff penalties put in place to encourage the use of those. They are you got to be using them first for them to protect you. And like you said, if they've already hacked into that, then
All right, interesting. Tanya J. Powers, thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was at a convenience store this morning, and my car. I don't know what this whole chip thing. It's terrible. It's destroyed at your longer time at the checkout. If they don't have a brand new state-of-the-art machine, then the chip doesn't work, or they'll say there's this morning trying to simply buy a Diet Pepsi. That wouldn't take my card. It would not take my card. Now I know
swiping
it's $3. It wouldn't swipe, and they don't. And as I'm walking out, she said, "Someday, hopefully, we're going to get a chip machine, because we don't have one now." They didn't even have the chip machine yet.
How long have you had a card with a chip in it?
It depends on the cards.
Yeah,
I
just got one a couple months ago.
I've had
my
them
first
for.
one.
I got mine well before it, and I always wondered what's that little gold thing. And then
some though I've just gotten, like some are just kind of replacing and catching up. But I guess the problem is there's one pharmacy that you can go to, and this is their policy. You put in the chip, and you sit and you wait, and it reads it, and then it tells you to swipe. And you swipe, and then it says put the chip back in, and that process takes far longer than what we used to do. And maybe that's the price we're paying for the hackers. But the problem, I think, is that the hackers have figured out how to hack into the chip plan. I don't get it, and it just has slowed everything down with credit card use. It's really very annoying, and I'm not sure that I feel any safer.